Hello everyone, my name is Marjorie and welcome to my channel, Jetersblessings. In today's video, I'm participating in a DIY challenge for Easter decor hosted by Sonia from Domestic Diva DIY. So I'm going to begin with these ribbons from the Dollar Tree, this sign from the Dollar Tree. I've got deco mesh from Hobby Lobby, the deco tubing from the Dollar Tree, and these paint sticks that I got from, I believe it was Home Depot. So here I've got 3 of the 1 gallon paint sticks, and then I'm using some scrap wood that I had cut from another project I used. And I'm basically just spacing out the long paint sticks to measure the width of paint sticks in between, and then I'll take some more just scrap pieces and I will glue them to the ends of the 3 long ones. I do use a combination of the Gorilla Glue wood glue and the Gorilla Glue hot glue. So I do that on both sides, and then here what I'm doing is I'm placing my ruler so I can measure where I can put the gnome sign and measure him into the middle. So I'm taking 2 additional pieces of scrap painter sticks, and I'm going to use the same combination. And you'll see at first I messed up. I actually had the sign butted up against the painter sticks, but I will fix it here in a second. I've actually got to pull the sign further up. That way when we add the deco mesh, then you'll actually be able to see the bottom of the sign. You won't be covering it up with the deco mesh. So then I just glue 2 of those sticks on there, and then I am finished making the base of the door hanger. I take that back. I'll finish making the frame of the door hanger. I do add some chenille stems on there, and you'll see what I do is I got a little lazy. I had available with me these small zip ties, and I didn't want to get up and get the bigger ones, so I actually just took 2 zip ties and put them together to make a longer one. And I end up putting the zip tie in the middle, and then I'll add my chenille stem, and this is really just gonna keep the chenille stem in place so it doesn't move around. What I'll do is I actually put 5 chenille stems on there, and I evenly spaced them out. I want to say they were about 3 inches apart from one another. And then I just go back and take my scissors and cut the ends of the zip ties off. Okay, so then I take my deco mesh and I cut them to 21 inches, and I just cut 5 pieces. And then here I'm doing the ruffle method and just walking my fingers up the middle of the deco mesh just to gather them. And then I insert it into my chenille stems. So as I'm placing the deco mesh next to one another, I do make sure that one is not overlapping the other, that you actually have the two sides that are touching. Both of the deco mesh is pulled up so you can actually see both of them, and it helps to make the the door hanger a little more full. So once I have that, I get 2 rolls of this blue 6-inch deco mesh from the Dollar Tree, and I cut them at 24 inches. And so what I do is I take 2 24-inch pieces, fold them in half, and I put them together, and I just put them right on top of the chenille stems for each one of the pipe cleaners. And once I've done that, then I go and take my ribbon and I cut my ribbon at 14 inches, and then I'll go ahead and dovetail them. But I make sure that there is 5 sets of them. And that way we'll have one for each chenille stem. So once I have all of my ribbon tails cut, then I just take one of each and I fold it in half and pinch it in the middle, and then I curve the ends between my thumb and forefinger. And then again, I just place the ribbon right on top of the chenille stem. I do not open it to add it. I just place it right on top, and then I fluff it out a little bit, but you want to make sure that you keep the curl in the ribbon. So if you don't do it while you're fluffing it, you can always go back. That curve makes a difference, and it makes it a little bit fluffier, and it makes it really nice versus just one of the ribbon tails sticking straight out. Now, to be honest, I don't really like working with the Dollar Tree mesh very much because it frays a lot. But in something like this that's small, it does work good as filler, just to help it make a little bit more fluffy. So here I have some of the deco tubing that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I cut each piece 36 inches long. And all I do is I find the end of one, I find one of the ends, and I go ahead and fold them over and over. So here I'm just really playing with it to see how big or how many times I want to fold it over to see it. And I didn't really like it. I thought it was definitely sticking out too much, and so I decided to go back in, and I apologize for being out of frame, but I ended up making it smaller and by folding it over more times. And here I like it a lot better because now it's a lot fuller, and I think to me it's better this way than the previous one. So once I add it on top of the chenille stem, then I just go back and twist the chenille stem and then fold it under itself and kind of hide it, tuck it away so you don't see it. Now in the middle, you'll see that I just went ahead and folded under the chenille stem because I'm not going to put the deco tubing in the middle. I'm actually going to make a bow, and the bow is going to fill up the middle so you wouldn't have been able to see the tubing. So I go ahead and just skip that one. So here I've taken the same ribbons and I cut them to 24 inches, and I added a couple of extra Dollar Tree ribbons that I had, and I cut each piece to 24 inches. I want to say that I did 8 of them, 2 of each one, and so I just folded in half, and so I'm measuring out 5 inches for the loop, and I'm pinching it in the middle, and then I will just alternate all the ribbons, making sure that each of them was a 5-inch loop. Now there's no rhyme or reason as to how I put the ribbons together. They were just the ribbons that I liked. The colors coordinated with one another, and once you get the bow together, as long as you've got them pretty much separated and not, to me it's best if you have them separated and not right by each other, then that's what I like to do. So then I just take the tails and I divide them in half, and I fold that chenille stem under to make sure it's secure enough to tie to the frame. Now what you see me doing here is fluffing out the tails and the loops. Now when you're doing the tails, you see me twist that one because you want to make sure that the printed side is up. Now for the plaid and the blue, it's the same on both sides, so you don't have to worry about twisting it. You just want to make sure anything with a printed side that you actually got the printed side facing forward. Next thing you want to do is, here is where you fluff out the loops, and you make sure you alternate the loops to where they're not by each other as much. And then what I do go back and do, because the chenille stems wasn't long enough, I take another chenille stem and I'll cut it in half, and I'll actually attach each half piece to what's already on there, just to make them longer. So I do that, and then you'll see where I'm going in, and I'm actually going to tie it to the middle portion of the frame, just where I tied all the other chenille stems. And then once that's tied down good, then I go back and fluff out the tails and the loops and make it the way I like it, to where it's nice and full. Now remember, when you're adding your bow, that you don't want to tie it down too tight, because what it'll do is it'll pull down in the middle of your deco mesh and it won't look right. So just have it tight enough to where it's sitting on top of the mesh, but it still keeps its shape. So just to top everything off, I'm taking a couple plastic eggs and adding it to on top of the deco tubing on just the two end ribbons. So here it is. I hope you guys like it. Thank you for stopping by, and please check out the playlist and the host's channel in my description box below. Y'all have a very blessed day. Bye.